You're capable of having all sides of a conversation. Hey, I have all sides of a conversation with myself all the time. All the time. When I was a kid, my mom always used to tell me not to talk to myself because people would think I was crazy. The funny thing is, I actually was crazy. I just hadn't been diagnosed yet. And now, if people heard how much I actually talk to myself when I'm alone, well, they would think I'm crazy, and they would be right. So, no. In fairness, I pretty much just suffer from depression now. My actual crazy days, I mean by crazy I mean like actually psychotic, are long behind me with the meds that I'm on, so I'm not really crazy anymore, but I have the potential to be. I have the potential to be. So, it looks like I've got some good dice here, and I don't know what I'm doing. I am going for that reroll ability, son. That's exactly where I'm going, is straight down the Intuit line. But I'm going to have to get 2 more upgrade points. Oh wait, this one costs 2, and I'm going to need 1 for this one. So I'm going to need 3 more upgrade points to get it, which is a lot. I've already kind of forgotten how to play this game. Well, I remember how to play it. It's very simple to play. But I mean, I've kind of forgotten what I was doing, what I was trying to do. Is there anything in the data sphere that I wanted to go for? You've gotten like 15 points already? Oh man, you must be way further in the game than me. I need 2s for these Havenage agents. So what do I do with these fat 5s? What am I doing in Dragos' yard? I'm trying to do forensic trawl. So that'll be a good one to do with one of my dice. You failed a couple quests? Wow. Okay. What's this? Oh yeah, nothing. I could go to the Ord Exchange. Fabricate ship mind, I don't have the parts. Oh, I completed the fungus thing, and now he wants me to, yeah, he wants me to get some mushroom or something that I don't know where to find. So I think I'll try to make a little money, first of all. Alright, I got 12 cryo. I could have got 19, but I only got 12. So that could have been better. I'm gonna come over here to Dragos' yard. Wow, really, son? That's cool. It's not the best chances, but I'm gonna go for it. No! I got a nag. Now I have to decide whether I want to try forensic trawl again with the 5, or if I want to work on the ambergris. Is it ambergris or ambergris? If I want to work on the hull repairs here with my 5. You know what? I think I'm gonna finish Dragos's thing. You would assume gris, considering it's French. Yeah, I didn't know whether it was French or not. I just thought it looked French, so I thought it might be ambergris. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone actually say that word before. I'm just gonna finish up Forensic Trawl. We'll get this winter light clock completed and see what happens. Okay, we did it. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on the winter light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Dragos' old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drone scans fill the small terminal with a spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them. Synthetic paper so thin it is almost transparent. I'm gonna look at the printout. A plain list shows the registration history of the Winter Light, the gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago on this very station, logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winter Light got little rest. Well, Tim, I assume what they mean is it's not made from wood. Let's look at the slate. Your attempts at a reconstruction of the Winter Light before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations. The new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy, a lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. Sounds like a cool ship. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first, where the hull had been thickened, the corners rounded to disguise the change. But they are there. Let's look at the monitor. Reactor failure. That is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the Winter Light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section, blotches of color marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story. A catastrophic failure of the drive core leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure, likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor. You are looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint-sized and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled, shaped explosion one designed to punch through the hull and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You are looking at it because it is troubling you. So the ship was attacked. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained. A reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry. A suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the Winter Light, and this was its story. I feel like this is only part of the story. Like, what were they doing with the hidden compartments? Who attacked the ship? Ah, it's not the full story. Thank you, narrator. But that's not the full story. Because there's something else. It is little more than a list. A tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winter Light had a separate system, one tucked away in one of its hidden compartments. Armored. Air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognize, some of it you don't. Ship-mined ROMs, shimmer, cryo chain codes. And then, the final entry. Passenger, sleeper. Oh. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here. In the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the Winter Light, a smuggler's ship if you ever saw one, to extract them from S&ARP? Luckier. You laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winter Light's compartments. You had checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This was all you find in their compartment. A parting gift from S&ARP. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. Ooh, I got a free stabilizer. That's really good. Hey, Spazang, how you doing? Good morning. I am up early, yeah. How are you? The thought still bothers you, though. 2 ships carrying sleepers coming into the same yard? 2, one after the other. That feels wrong. You just did a 1 in a million thing? What was that, son? You flick back and forth between datasets on the terminal, thinking, and you see that thumbprint again, the mark of someone trying to get in. Someone who entered the Winter Light with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Because that person's gonna be hunting me down, probably. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Drago stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you have assembled. You grabbed an energy drink in a plastic bag and poked my thumb straight through the side of the can somehow. And of course my rolling paper was in the bag too. I don't understand. Are you saying you punctured your thumb through the side of like an aluminum can that was full? Because that's crazy if so. You're developing superpowers. Quick, see if you can, like, pick up some super heavy furniture and lift it over your head or something. Didn't even poke it hard. Yeah, that's weird. It must have had some kind of structural flaw right at that spot or something, I guess. I mean, how else could that happen? Dragos is staring at the equipment and notes you've assembled. What is all this? He snatches the slate from the desk, faster than you realized he could move. You running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing to it through his implants. Where is this ship from? Leave this alone. He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself. This is the last thing I need. This ship had a sleeper on it. Dragos freezes, suddenly angry. What did you say? He pushes past you to look at the terminal, at the list. He shakes his head. So what? Aren't all of you trying to escape? You're lucky it was you that made it out alive, not them. He folds his arms indignantly. Dragos seems to steady himself, and then turns back to you, the heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headset's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work. He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty others who would have sold you on, turned you in, but not me, no. I appreciate that, but... Don't! Yeah, I'm pretty confused by it too, son. That's, I've never heard of that happening to anyone ever. He shakes his head. I'm not discussing my business with you. He quiets the drone. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with this ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you're after. He sighs. You can't work here anymore. What about the winter light? He reaches over and switches the monitor off. Can looks normal, but I mean hard to tell. Well, obviously it wasn't normal because otherwise it wouldn't have punctured like that. Forget about the damn ship! You have enough to keep you up! Dragos reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies a kind of eerie calm. Falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it was done. You made it out, Sleeper! That means you have to move on! Yeah, well that's what I'm assuming, son. Someone killed that ship and its crew. And you want to meet them? He shakes his head. We are done here! In the dark, Dragos' headset glints, and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk, and Dragos gathers the notes, stuffing them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset as expressionless as always. You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back! His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office and then out of the yard, not stopping to look back, Well, this is not the outcome I wanted. I was trying to do this because I thought Dragos would like it and we would be better friends. But I've just burned my relationship with Dragos. That sucks. Did your rolling paper get, like, completely drenched and ruined? You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this, at least, guarantees you a little more time. And as you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the winter light, and whether or not that person will come for you. Yeah. May have salvaged about half of it. Well, that's good, I guess. Are rolling papers expensive, or I have no real idea how much something like that would cost. Well, here's the problem. Oh, wait, did I complete a study the winter light? So you aren't the only sleeper who is being hunted. You should prepare for the worst. So I do get an upgrade. Two more points, I can get instant karma. That seems pretty inexpensive. Here's the problem, you guys. Here's the problem. When I rest, this hunted clock is going to complete, which means something bad is going to happen. And there is absolutely nothing I can do about it at this point. Hey, Nox is here. How you doing, Nox? Moo. Oh, fuck. I mean, darn. Shoot. All of a sudden I went seeing it saying fuck. I also don't have any energy. I gotta go get some food. I gotta go get some food. How you doing, Nox? Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a stabilizer. I'm up to full, so that means on the next day I'll get 5 dices. Unfortunately, I gotta deal with this psycho clock thing now. It's gonna be bad. No Saturday work demons? Boo. Why is that boo? Oh. Oh. He does have Saturday work demons. Soon you'll be abducted by work demons. That is boo. Those work demons. Have they no shame? Have they no humanity? Sorry to hear that, Nox. Well, I got pretty much the whole range here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Uh-oh. Cynical bounty hunter Ethan is after me. Got his pants pulled up pretty high, doesn't he? Hold it there, sleeper, comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. Stay still. Good, good. A hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He is wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket, and you immediately know he is terrible news. You got all the way out here and then stayed put? He laughs a cruel laugh. That a sleeper thing. You're my first. You barely hear him. You've noticed the handgun he has leveled at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from a belt loop without taking his eyes off you. Making it to the eye, though, that's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. I pull most of my contracts out of asteroid caves or off of godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into 2 perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. Who are you? Just a freelancer on a contract. He reaches over to slide the rings around your wrists. Go easy. I don't know what to do, guys. Do I let him put these things on me and hope that something just magically works out, or do I make a break for it? Don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. I'm just gonna trust that everything works out fine. Good. You've got the idea. He grins. It's over. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home. He whistles. Going easy. You stumble down the corridor, your hands behind you, your mind racing. Who hired you? Your daddy's at S&R. They want you home for dinner. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to S&R right away. That tracker of yours makes this too quick. Was hoping you'd put up a bit more of a chase, you know? A running battle through the bright market, maybe, or a holdout in the low end. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk on in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That SNARP tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea. Ethan interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying. He laughs at his own joke. I have a better idea. This better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, muses Ethan, I've got myself thinking, what's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems, and we're heading for the exit. He pauses, and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea, starts Ethan. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. He turns you to face him. You run, or leave, or try to abandon the eye, I shoot you. You plot or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But, he smiles, You come meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles and you pay my tab, I don't shoot you. So he's like my parole officer now. He pauses. You don't pay my tab. He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. You're letting me go? Not at all. Let's call it open custody. You're free to mooch around the eye as long as you keep paying up. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but this is so much better. He clicks something at his belt and the rings release from your wrists. I'm going to see if I can find my old stool at the Compressor Club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. I'll know. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? Well, that profoundly sucks. Maybe if you manage to pay his tab, Ethan will leave you alone. Wishful thinking, perhaps, but what else can you do? I really need to do this badly. Or this, so that I need to do this so that I can do this. Alright, well, I've got a full boat of dice here. Is there anything new happening? Oh, there's the Compressor Club. Ethan's tab is on a psycho clock. You see Ethan at a distance, shouting from the bar for more drinks. This bill isn't going to be small, is it? Oof. Alright, here's where we're gonna start. Found the mushrooms by day 50? Wow. How do you know what day you're on? How do I know what day I'm on? Is there a way to know? It says when you load your save. Huh. Alright, I need to hack a Havenage agent. I got the Havenage data. Hack the shipyard and slot the Ripper Worm. I've got the Havenage cipher. The gate flips. You are in. Okay, but an open port sits waiting for you to slot in a Ripper Worm. What will it find in there? This is where I'm supposed to do it, right? There's not like somewhere else that I'm supposed to... Okay, this is where I'm supposed to do it, I guess. The worm slots in and begins tunneling down a thread. Godspeed, little one. So I did it. this hasn't updated or anything. Hack the shipyard and slot the Ripper Worm. I did that. Why isn't it updated? Oh, I see. Fang's Ripper Worm is installed, but it'll take a few cycles to run through the closed network. So I have to wait 3 days before... Okay. Alright, what are we doing with these other thingamabobbers? Let's see. Don't know how to get ship mine fragments, really. Can't do this without this, and I can't do this without time passing, and I could work on that. And I have to do this with this, which I don't know how to do, and I don't know how to get that. And I have to wait on that. So basically what I need to do is work on the ambergris and make money. And I can't work at, oh yeah, I can buy ship mine fragments, but I really can't afford to spend money on that right now. I'm also gonna need to, you know what I need to do? Well, I'll wait until the end of the day. If I use the one... If I use the one on Sunbathe, I have 50% nag. That's not great. What else could I use the one on? Oh, maybe something in here? No, everything in here is like a 2. What else can I do with the one? Bind core. What if I put a 3 in here? It's not great. If I put a 4 in here. Three and 4 give me the same numbers. So, for the 6, I think I need to go to the Ord Exchange and make 19 cryo. What if I put a 4 in here? I could still make some money with a 4. Alright, I'm up to 71. Then I'll use the 3... on the ambergris and just hope for the best. Oh, good. I got 2 ship shapes. That's fantastic. And then I'll use the 1 to sunbathe for some sustenance. Ooh, I got 2 energy. Just crafted a bone axe to help gather some lumber, so V Rising is going well. Nothing says immortal master of the night like having to chop down your own fucking trees. Okay, that's it for this cycle. Got 2 6s and a 5 this time. That's pretty good. I think I'll use the 1 here again. Wait, no, why did it... Oh, because it became a 2 because I have +1 endure. Alright, good. I can use that 2 for data. Let's leave. Okay, anything new? Oh, these things I think are new now. Oh no, we're waiting for the next thing to come here. Oh, here we go. Buy some scrap. Unload containers. Wait, so you're telling me that the best result is 15 cryo and the worst result is 15 cryo? And it's danger? I think my perk is broken. Right? Have to gather some plant fibers as well. These armors aren't going to craft themselves. Cryo with 100% positive. Hold on. If I put a 5 in there. But here I could get 19 cryo with 100% positive, so makes more sense to play the exchange than that immortal dirt farmer life, yeah. Okay, so I do this. I get 19 more cryo. I leave. I go to here. Okay, which one of these do I want to hack with my 2? I guess this one. Got an encrypted key, able to unlock the station's aging mag locks. Okay. I don't think there's a place I can use that right now. Alright, I want to do 1 fix of the ambergris for sure. 100% positive. Okay, we're close on that, but then I'm going to use this other 6 to make more money. Yeah, no, I know about the hunter thing. He's already caught me, well, twice, basically. But I did a thing to, like... I did a thing with Neovend. Oh, but that just opened up the next thing to do for Neovend to counter the hunter thing. But now I gotta get him a ship mind. Okay. Do I make 19 more monies? Oh, you know what I haven't started doing? Because it costs money. I haven't started working on Overlook Regular. I should spend 6 cryo to get a drink. You're unsure if your frame can metabolize alcohol, but this fungal drink, fermented along the greenway, seems like a good test. Oh, I got energy too. Mossy tones and aniseed sharpness fills your mouth. It isn't totally unpleasant. At least you can taste it. Now, I don't know if I should... If I spend my 6 here, I can finish Shipshape and get the next part of the story here. If I spend it here, I get a guaranteed 19 more monies. And I know I'm gonna need a lot of money because I gotta pay this guy's tab, I gotta buy... I gotta pay for a lot of shit. I think I'll get money. Nox says that's easy. All you have to get is the figurehead off of a classic sailing ship and put a magic mouth on it. That way it would be a ship mind. Sun says that'd be a ship mouth. Wow. Always handy advice from Nox. Always handy advice. Are there any clocks that are gonna finish tomorrow? I think the answer is no. I'm at max energy, so that's good. Okay. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 6. What am I going to do with that 1? I don't want to sunbathe today. I gotta use the 1 for something. But I don't know what. I don't want to lose condition. It might not be the end of the world to lose it. If I put this here, I got a 50% neg chance to lose condition. I certainly don't want that. If I put it here, I got a 50% neg chance to lose energy, which I can kind of live with. Then the game would load gibbous because you would be in a fish mouth. Oh yeah, fish mouth. I remember that now. If I do this, allegedly the negative is I still get 15 cryo, but that can't be true. Right? You know, and I think I'm going to try it. I think I'm just going to try it. Oh, I got 15 cryo. With a 1. That's good. That feels good. If I use a 4 here, how good is that? 25% neg chance still. Guess I'll use my 6 here. With Ankita's help, you systematically isolate, remove, repair, and reseal the hull plates. Amber looks better and better by the hour. Ship shape is done. So now I can talk to Ankita again. Like a feathered maelstrom, it would be the hand of the world. What? See you later, gosh. You'll have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. What, Nox? That one was camera stare worthy right there. Ankita is crouched in the computing core of the ambergris, swearing to herself when you enter. She doesn't look up.
These shits completely ruined the core's connectors when they cut it.
She holds up a thick fistful of ragged wires.
The ship mine they ripped won't even be usable without replacing these.
She throws the bundle of wires across the room.
Amateurs.
Who took it? She stands.
If I knew, do you think I'd be wading around in here rather than out there with my boot on their neck?
She sighs.
Yet again? Some spacer crew? No way to know, but they got in with one of my crew's access chips. So they either killed him, robbed him, or he was in on it. No good options.
Ankita climbs out of the cooling well where the ship mine should be. The space suddenly crowded with her on the same level as you, towering over you as she stoops beneath the low, curved ceiling.
Come on, nothing to be done here now.
She leads you back through the guts of Amber, though you could find the way back yourself. The repair process has left you familiar with the cutter's idiosyncratic layout. All diagonal angles and bundled tubes. What do we do now? Ankita seems lost in thought, and you focus on the corridors. Ducking below conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually you arrive in the galley, though it's hard to tell. Most of the benches and prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and welded hull patches. Ankita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits.
There's no way around it.
She starts out of nowhere.
We need a new ship mine.
Oh, great. So now I need 2 ship mines. Where from?
Scrap freighter, Ort exchange. Hell, find one in the overlook bathroom. Doesn't matter where, just matters that we get one.
She rubs her forehead. And by we get one, she basically means me get one.
It seems I'm about to do something very stupid. But hey, I came here, didn't I? Why not make a run of it?
She fixes you with a hard stare.
Sleeper. You're all I've got. No crew, no friends, you're it.
She looks uncomfortable.
I appreciate the time you've put in on Amber, and I'm sure she would do too if she could. What I'm saying is if you screw me on this, I will kill you.
That's not very nice. She leans over and hands you a stack of chits. A big stack of chits. You don't dare to count them.
Get me that ship mine, Sleeper. Don't make me regret this.
You won't. She sighs.
Look, just get out of here before I change my mind.
You slip out of the galley and head back towards the main lock. As you do, Amber growls and creaks like a caged animal. You reach a hand out to calm her. Time to find Ankita a ship mine. Somehow. Well, she did give me fat stacks. But I can't... I need a ship mine for her. And I need a ship mine for Neovend. And I really have no idea how to get one. Emphas, you got a ship mine? No. Ort fabricator is where I can build one, but I need 3 of these fragments, and I only have 1 of these fragments. And I don't know how to get... Do you guys have a ship mine? You know how to get one? I don't, though. Oh, there was a place where I could buy fragments, but it was on this ship that's gone now. This was the place where I could buy fragments, but it's gone. It won't be back for a long-ass time. Is there any datums I want to get? Evenage agent. That's a 3-piece. You need a fleet mind. Nina, get me a Pinta of the Santa Maria. Oh, Nox. A 2 to misspend in the data sphere, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna, not do anything in there right now. Because it doesn't seem like there's anything pressing to do in there. What about the shipyard? I could try to assist a shipbuilder. My yard hand isn't even close. Put a 4 here. What do I get? 50% pause, 50% newt. Still feel like I need more money. So there's nothing I can do with the ambergris other than putting in a ship mind. I will go... I'm curious about whether or not I should spend 60 cryo to open the way into low end. But then I feel like I'm just gonna have a bunch more yeah, I know I have to... I don't know how much I'm gonna have to pay him. But I'm assuming it's gonna be a significant amount. I am gonna spend 6 cryo on a drink, though. Alright, what am I gonna do with that 2? I could use it here, which allegedly is going to give me cryo no matter what. Cryo and I gain 2 energy? You finish unloading ahead of schedule, and one of the crew invites you aboard to share a warm meal as thanks for your efforts. That's pretty great. That's 15 cryo in the bank. I could go to the Ort exchange. Go for 19. Only got 12 though. Took pipe there. Now, that 3 I think I'll use in the shipyard. If I put it here, I only have 25% neg, but the neg is really bad. Losing condition is bad. If I put it here, all I'm gonna lose is energy, which I don't give a shit about. So let's try this. Nice, I got 5 cryo and some progress on this. I'm out of dices. I know there's somebody out there that's so annoyed that I keep saying dices. That's why I keep saying it. And I'm waiting on Feng's thing to finish. Oh, it'll finish tomorrow. Good. Okay. Empty container. End cycle. I'm gonna lose a dice, though, tomorrow, because this is gonna drop off, and I won't get that one, probably. Yep. Good rolls today, though. Good rolls. Oh, I can talk to Fang. Yeah, because that thing finished. I can talk to Fang. Got 1 day left before this bill comes due. As you arrive, Fang comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise.
Let's go, Sleeper.
He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. Go where?
To see Hardenhurst.
Gives you a sideways glance.
Isn't that what you're here for?
He steps into the passageway, guiding you down ring, towards the shipyard.
Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. That data you ripped, well done, by the way.
He grins.
Tells me Harden is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in.
Fang takes a sharp turn onto a dimly lit side passage. Sidereal horizon?
Still catching up? That's the massive colony ship being built out in the shipyard. Biggest commission Havenage has ever had.
Fang slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where somewhere a water pipe drips into black.
It's him, Sleeper, the same Hardenhurst.
That fifth slot sits there tauntingly like a D20s. Oh, Nox! Oh, Nox. Hashtag oh, Nox.
Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation from the first stage of the Solheim collapse until now. He wrote out the whole thing, slipped into Havenage when it first broke off from the Union.
He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head.
I need you to understand something about Solheim, Sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here running the station one day and the next Erland's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents, were coming in non-stop. And as new waves of contractors came in, desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them in, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time, Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases in the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died. Thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erland, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true, but my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MEV and welded it to the dock, while my father joined the improvised crews trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back.
Fang pauses in the dark.
They sealed it up, though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Apart...
Fang finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning.
From shits like Harden. Shits who held their place rode it out and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Feng starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut about the shipyard. This time his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Feng rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. Let's go. Feng grins. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. We're gonna teach him the meaning of punity, I think. Throw this fucker in the sun. Beam. Pouring myself some more Diet Dr. Thunder. Diet Dr. Thunder. Lots of thunder, just 1 calorie. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex, snatches of the construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal, imposing. Feng seems to know exactly where he is going, and before long you cross into a huge dry dock, locked to one side of the sidereal horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time, a group walking slowly across a gantry, whatever the fuck a gantry is, and at the front, 2 men, one gesturing towards the ship, and the other stick-thin, cleanly dressed with a shock of gray hair. Pardon. You and Feng say his name in unison, and Feng sets off up the staircase to the gantry with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock, and Hardin nodding along. Hardin Hurst! Feng shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figures turn. Hardin, Senior Havenage member. Yes? Hardin asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Feng, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You are a traitor, Hardin, a Soheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Feng's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadow of, everything Erland stood for, everything Havenage stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Hardin laughs. Well, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, the others nervous. You're from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Hardin, inspecting Feng's clothing. Feng turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Feng and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides.
Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. It's true. As you begin speaking, Hardin turns his attention to you. And what would a sleeper know about that? You accused me of being a corporate agent. What are you, if not exactly that? He looks around at the group, who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You are a product of S&R. You have no place in a havened shipyard. Who knows what signals you're sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Fang holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right, I am systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I'm asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at a members' meeting for proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow, and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on walkways, coming from all angles at once, and then settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. Fang spits. Hardin, you shithead! You can't wriggle out of this one! A security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Fang turns and stares him down. Go for the weapon. No, I'm not a crazy person. I'm gonna calm Fang. You look at Fang. He shakes his head and puts a hand on your shoulder. Let's go, says Fang, and he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Fang picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Fang is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket, and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got 'em, mutters Fang. What's going on? Hardin is doing what any snaky shithead always does, calling his friends. We are tracking his outgoing messages. Fang's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. The old ways are best. Spook them good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate, and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots? These are Hardin's buddies, the one he's messaging right now, and we're gonna find them all. That was on purpose? Of course! Hardin isn't working alone. We need the full set or nothing. Fang glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting! Thought he said he was gonna do something about my tracker, but now he's gonna fuck me over again, isn't he? With a pat on your shoulder, Fang drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Drive complete, 1 upgrade point. Drive complete, 1 upgrade point. Drive complete, 1 upgrade point. Drive complete, beat. I gotta help Fang chase more of his leads. Hyperdrive complete. 1 upgrade point. I need another upgrade point to get instant karma. These are all impossible. These are all impossible. Okay. All right. Ever since your trip to the shipyard, Feng has been missing from his bay. What's going on? I gotta wait 4 days on that. Pulling a Feng. Yeah, right? I'll wait for his brother, Shui. Shit. Okay. I can get a guaranteed 19 here. I can come here and use the 3. I always get 15 cryo here no matter what. I can go to the shipyard, try to assist a shipbuilder. Got a little bit of yard hand. See what you did there, yeah. I'm out of dices, but I'm almost done with yard hand. Now I'm gonna go buy a drink at the bar, get a thing of energy, and complete Overlook regular. Which should unlock some story here. Favorite haunt for spacers. The glass shatters on the steel bar beside you, and the taunts don't take long to follow. Hey, Aunt! The spacer calls across the low room. What are you doing here? He laughs at his own lame joke. Playing human? I'm gonna shout back. You spin back off your stool, scrambling for words. A hand falls on your shoulder, but as you flinch away, it pats reassuringly. You freeze in place. This is Tala, owner of the Overlook. Got some ink. Out! The voice comes from behind you, spat out like a shot. You turn to see bright eyes, dark hair, a stare that could breach the wall and vent you all into hard vacuum. As you turn back to the spacer, the second glass comes sailing through the air. Catch it? You reach up a hand and the glass shatters across your forearm, showering you in fragments. Oh, crap. Epic fail. Through the haze of glass and Girola vapor, you see Tala leap the bar and close the distance to the spacer. The thud as he slams into the wall echoes around the bar like thunder, and it's not diet thunder. Now flanked by other figures, quick to their feet, Tala throws the spacer out through the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda lights. You touch your arm and it feels wet. Someone helps you to your feet and back onto your stool. Broken glass rattles as it is cleared, and a fresh measure of Girola is glugged out in front of you. Glugged! That's the first time I've seen glugged as a verb. Nice. That same hand, warm, heavy, falls on your shoulder once more.
He isn't coming back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here.
Tala flops onto the stool beside you.
Let's get a look at you.
Tala wipes the powdered glass from around the wound, and someone places a bottle of alcohol and a metal tin with tweezers on the bar. She disinfects them and then turns to you.
That was an ambitious catch.
She smiles, pulling a sliver of glass from your forearm.
Stupid, but ambitious.
You don't feel the pain, only the string of status messages your body delivers concerning dermal damage and exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tala's bright eyes search your thick synthetic skin for splinters. Knox says if this was a sports bar, they'd be pouring out drinks like a Louisville Glugger. Nice. Be careful if you order a highball around here. They might actually throw it at you. I'm gonna watch her. Tala works with the skill of someone who has had to pick glass splinters from the skin of a stranger before. She hones in on each bright shard, all the time tapping the tweezer tips in little rhythms that only she can follow. Tala smiles to herself.
So, you been on the eye long?
Long enough. She laughs.
Hey, you don't need to act tough with me.
A splinter clinks into the tin.
Not everyone is like that idiot. We don't all hate you.
She glances around.
Some of the regulars, maybe they fear you. Maybe they're just curious. I don't know. But I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know what it's like to be new in this place. Trust me.
She meets your eye.
I'm not trying to convince you of anything, or separate you from your chits. I just want you to know that if you need something, you can always come here. I know the rations we've got aren't much, and the company is...
She leans in.
Limited. But if you need work, I'll happily put you behind the bar. And if you need shelter, well, we can discuss that. You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door, but he's up in the Greenway this cycle, haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't.
She places her tweezers in the tin with a clink.
That's you, Sleeper. Here.
She slides the glass of Garola to you.
This'll help.
She stops, her hands still on the glass.
Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk?
Let's find out. She laughs.
Just don't sit here too long. I'd hate to see you become a real regular.
She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses as she does, and before long is retelling how she threw that spacer out to a new group that just wandered in, complete with dramatic actions. She gestures in your direction, and you instinctively look away, back to the worn surface of the bar. You take a sip of the Garola. The earthy fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out sight and sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You may not be able to get drunk, but this connection to something grown, something fermented, something old, feels good. Alright, that's cool. It didn't open up any new thingamabobbers. But now I can actually work shifts at the bar. The Overlook clientele can be a tough crowd, but you have Tala's backing and that means a lot. Have to work here a whole lot, though, to, Tala is as good as her word and happy to throw a shift or two your way. The pay isn't great, but tips can make all the difference. Okay, so that's another thing we can now do. So tomorrow, the compressor club thing is going to finish, and I'm going to have to pay this jackass his fucking bribe money. And I'm at full energy, and I'm at 0 actions, so the only thing I can do now is end the cycle. Alright, I can live with these, I suppose. That one doesn't really fill me with joy, but... Ethan's deadline. Ethan says you have 2 cycles to pay the tab. He calls it being fair-minded. How can someone drink this much in 6 cycles? Ethan hasn't held back while he's been at the compressor. Well, if I don't have to pay it today, I'll pay it tomorrow, because that might delay how long it's going to be till the next payment. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell Ethan that I'm good for it. And come back and pay him tomorrow. It's not that expensive. I was thinking it might be like 100, but it's only 58, so that's not too bad. What am I going to do with all these dices? If I go to the Overlook bar and I throw a 1 on this, bad things are going to happen. If I go to the shipyard and I throw a 1 on this, it's not that bad. I'll just lose energy, which I can regain pretty easily. Okay, well that sucked. Well, giant pile of fucking fail there. Can I still buy a drink? I can't buy... I could buy rations. I need to make some money. Let's see how much she pays me. $15 cryo and 2 of these. Okay. I'm gonna do that again, I think. Alright, I'm halfway to good service already. And I just made 30 cryo. I have over 300 now. But now I need to buy some energy. So let's buy some rations here. That'll get me through till tomorrow. Hosed on chits. Yeah, dude, I am hosed on chit. And that's basically it for now. That's basically it. Wait, why is this a red block? Anything bad is happening here? Really want to complete this yard hand thing and see what happens. So, let's see. I got energy, I'm out of dices, so yeah, end cycle. Well, this isn't the best stuff I've ever seen. So now I have to go pay this dude. As you hand over the chits, you hear Ethan laughing hysterically somewhere down the bar. I can't believe you just did that. Ethan's mocking laugh comes from across the bar. You look across to see him leaning across it in a pool of light, empty glasses and spilled liquids glinting around him. It's always dark in the compressor, but this cycle the place is packed, a load of spacers mixing with the locals. Usually they run. Ethan spins a glass on the bar. Or they go spend their savings on some local heavy I have to put down. They don't pay. I'm done. Wrong! Not even close! Ethan gets to his feet. The glass falls and smashes, but he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? One round of drinks and we're even? Sleeper, come on! His hand comes to rest on the butt of his handgun, dangling from a chest holster. What's wrong with you? Ethan laughs hard, and the people around him turn to see what's happening. You think this is on me? I think someone in your position might have a better idea of how this all works. I'm a freelancer, Sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with S&R, didn't we? The difference is that my word means something. He closes the gap, stumbling a little. What did you think? You could just run away from your contract, your debt? You could just steal that natty little body of yours and take it for a joyride? Play human for a cycle or two? You don't understand. It's you, Sleeper, that doesn't understand. Some of us pay our debts, but it's all the harder because of idiots like you. Though I should thank you. Ethan nods, his head heavy. For giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know, real bounties. If I knew us catching sad little escapees like you was so easy, I would have changed clients ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds up a finger in that general direction without turning around. Let's stay silent. Nothing to add? Ethan turns and walks back towards the bar. Good. Lesson learned. Ethan sits heavily back down on his stool and searches through his glasses for one with something left in it. The thing is, Sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. That body isn't yours, and it will always betray you, no matter what. He finds a glass and downs the contents. So, please go. I'll catch up with you whenever I need another. He laughs and taps the bar for a fresh drink. Look at yourself. Give it up, Sleeper. I'm done teaching you for today. He settles his head on the bar and closes his eyes. I'm sick of you. Go find a job. You turn on your heel and are out of the cloying dark and the sweat stench of the compressor. You walk hard and fast down the walkway, anger driving your footfalls into the metal of the rim like hammers. Oh, but I got an upgrade point for that, so Money well spent, to be perfectly honest. You paid Ethan's tab, but your troubles with this bounty hunter seem far from over. Got an upgrade. Now I can get instant karma. Reroll all of your dice once per cycle. And Sun told me that you can do it even after you've used some of your dice. So today I could use the 6 and the 3 and then re-roll the 1 and the 2. Which is sick. Or I could use the 6 and re-roll the 1, 2, and 3. Looks like I got 4 more days before I have to pay this jackass again. I could get 19 cryo from that, but you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to... I'm going to finish this shipyard thing. What if I put a 3 in here? I have a good chance, right? Fuck! Alright, well that was shitty. Let's work a bar shift. $15 cryo and good service. Let's re-roll these. Alright, I got a 4 and a 3 now. Let's go back to the shipyard. If I use the 3, I get 25% neg. If I use the 4, I still get 25% neg. Ugh. 25% neg. Alright, this is pretty good. I'm just gonna do this. Got 3 energy from that. Then I can use this 3 here and hope that I've got a 75% chance to not shit the bed. And I've shit the bed like the last 3 times on this thing. Alright, I got small progress. Guess that's all I can do today. End cycle. Posed on chits. Oh, look at these rolls now. Come on. Well, I'm gonna need energy, which I can get even with a 1. Okay, that's good. I think I'm gonna re-roll all those 2s. Okay, that's much better. If I go to the shipyard, I'm going for the 3. I did it! Yard hand is complete. So now what happens? Now I can talk to Lem and Mina, worker and daughter. Oh, and I can go to Havenage offices, and I can go to unit assembly. I just opened up a bunch of stuff. At Havenage offices, I can... Sophisticated tech is rare on the eye, so the shipyard is happy to pay for ship mine fragments they can dismantle and reuse. Never. Tracking yet again. A slate in the office advertises that Havenage are looking for informants on gang activity in the eye. They'll pay. I do have yet again data, actually. I feel like 10 cryo wasn't really enough for that. You go to the unit assembly. Oh, there's a lot going on here. Shipbuilding spots on the sidereal horizon are hard to come by. Poor work will see you dropped from the roster. Alright, I can do structural fitting. The sidereal horizon is assembled block by block. You earned a place on the team as welding those blocks together. Welder's mate. You have a spot supporting the weld team. A good place to prove you know how to put a ship together. Or systems fitting. The sidereal horizon is webbed with complex systems, bundled like nerves in a body. Your job is to lay these systems in. The systems team is looking for new members. Prove yourself a reliable tech and you're in. Okay, so we'll come back to all this. Let's talk to Lem and Mina. Havenage construction yards. From the walkway, the sidereal horizon looks impossibly vast. A landscape of plating and frames. All along her flanks, torches flicker, drones maneuver, arc lights glint. The sense of scale, of industry, is both stunning and strangely unsettling. Got a vermin nest and a blood press built next to my sawmill. It's as though Abraham Stoker himself wrote this game. Is it, Tim? Is that right? Shipyard worker and his daughter, Lem and Mina. I gotta come up with another voice that's different from all the voices I've already used. I'm running out of voices. She's quite beautiful, I think. We turn to see a figure a little way down the walkway, leaning at the railing. He is thin, ragged, his work gear poorly fitting and loose. The torches of the sidereal horizon flicker in his eyes as he turns to you. Lem! He leans back from the rail, revealing a child standing beside him, staring out at the ship. And this is Mina, he adds with a smile. Hi, Mina. She stares and tucks herself behind Lem, who dutifully picks her up. She is a little slow to trust, aren't you, Mina? She buries her face in the folds of his overalls. Mina looks out from Lem's chest, a dark brown eye twinkling among the rough material. You are working on her, then? Lem asks eagerly, gesturing to the vast ship. Or just admiring? He shifts Mina's weight to his other arm. Admiring. Understandable. He nods, gazing back out at the sidereal horizon. You like her too, don't you, Mina? He jostles her a little. She's Mina's and I ticket out of this place. Our escape vector, so to speak. How? You haven't heard? Anyone who takes a Havenage contract on the sidereal horizon will be entered into a draw for the transit support crew. He smiles. We won't get to sleep the journey through, but the couple of decades of service will be nothing for me and Mina if it means landfall on a new world. He winks. Just a couple of decades of service, no big deal. Decades? It's a long trip. He straightens up, stretching his back. That's a colony ship, friend. The Salus Foundation is sending thousands of people to settle a system well outside the reach of the core worlds. It'll be a totally independent colony. No surrogacy, no corporations. Salus Foundation? They're Havenage's client, yeah. Some wealthy project from the core systems, interested in independence and self-sufficiency and all that. They hired the whole shipyard out, helped rekit it and everything. He strokes Mina's hair. Someone else's dream, I suppose, but doesn't mean people like me and Mina can't tag along. Mina responds by pushing his hand away. Daddy? She whispers. Food. Pulling an exaggerated, grumpy face. She glances furtively at you as she plays with a set of dog tags that hang from Lem's neck. I'm just chatting a little, Meanie. Give Daddy a sec. He turns back to you, and you suddenly notice how tired he looks. I'm not on the Havenage crew yet, but I'll work my way in. You can do it too, friend. We have to stick together. He smiles a little shakily, and you wonder how long he's been working to break into the official shipyard crew. For sure. He looks out at the sidereal horizon, as if trying to pull energy from those flickering torches, from the vast hull. We've got to hold out, okay? You aren't quite sure if he is talking to you. That's how it works. While he stares out, Mina catches your eye curiously. You agree, Mina? She straightens up and meets your eye. Daddy loves me. She says it stubbornly, daring you to question her. Lem smiles and lifts Mina. That's it. We hold on. He smiles sheepishly at you. I'm working on the plumbing system of the ship. I've got to, how you say, lay pipe? We're just a couple of softies, isn't that right, Mina? He sets her down, standing by his side, and she clings to his leg. Gotta go feed this one. He pats her back. Maybe see you on a shift, huh? He turns, and they walk down the walkway away from the shipyard. You see them talking, and then a moment later, Mina turns around and stops. See you, robot! Her shout echoes down the walkway, and she flashes you a parting smile before running to catch up with Lem. You watch them a little before you turn back to the impossible scale of the sidereal horizon. Ticket out. Oh, I got a new drive. Win a sidereal ticket. Workers on the sidereal crew get entered into a draw for the colony ship's live-in crew. That's one way off the eye and into a new life. Okay. So, what do we have here? Okay. He's working on this. This ship's coming back. This ship's coming back. I could make a 19 piece at the Ord Exchange. What if I gotta spend that one somewhere. This is implying that even if I get the negative result, it's plus 10 cryo. It's implying that. Oh good, I got 13 cryo and advanced the good service thing. So I could use my 5 here as well, or I could try to get 19 cryo from the... Or I could try to do some work here with the 5. Do I want to do welder's mate or junior tech? I really don't know. I assume they kind of both lead to the same thing, but I feel like welder's mate fits my character better with the class that I picked. So I could start working on this. Got 12 cryo and 2 welders mate. Alright. Now I think I might use my other stabilizer, because if I don't, tomorrow I'm only going to have 3 dices. But once I use this, I can't get another one until I spend $100. I could wait to use it until I get down to like here. I'd have to go through, you know, like 3 or 4 days with just 3 dice. But I'd be making the stabilizer last longer. Or I could use it now and have 5 dice. 5 dice sounds a lot better than 3 dice. I can do math. Five dice is 66% more than 3 dice. Roughly. I'm out of stabilizers now, but I'm back up to maximum capacity here. So let's just see what happens. Oh, some decent rolls today. Alright, I can talk to... Oh, Harden, huh? What else is going on? This is progressing. I got 2 more days before I have to pay that dude. I got 1 more day before this ship comes back. I got 1 more day before this ship comes back. Alright, let's talk to Harden. Should really enter Skid Row soon. Should I? Cost 60. It's been more than a few cycles since Fang confronted Harden, and the silence since has been noticeable. In your time with Fang, you haven't exactly found him to be reliable, but you did expect to hear the end of whatever plan he put into action. But if he won't come to you, you think as you approach the Havenage building, then it's time to come to him. After all, he did promise to fix your tracker, and you are getting nervous. As you approach the bay doors, you see them wide open, and light pouring out of the once dark room. Stacks of servers and terminals sit outside the bay, suddenly robbed of their mystery by the bright flood lamps. A figure in Havenage security fatigue steps out of the bay as you get closer, carrying a stack of hardware. Approach. As you get closer, you see the security officer taping up machines from Feng's stash with what looks like hazard tape. This isn't good.
You again.
Hardin is there, leaning beside the bay entrance so calmly that you barely noticed him. He has a slate in his hand, an inventory of seizures scrawled across it.
Predictable. Further evidence of Feng's collusions.
You see another security officer come out of the bay and take notice of you.
Where is he? Feigning ignorance. Or perhaps just abandoned?
Hardin shakes his head.
I believe you should choose your conspirators more wisely. I almost feel sorry for you.
Hardin pushes away from the wall and comes closer.
Don't worry, Sleeper. We have all the evidence we need. A confession won't be necessary.
He gestures around at the stacks of hardware.
Spying on fellow Havenage members, hoarding Solheim materials, an obsession with corporate data. It speaks for itself, does it not?
That was his job.
And what would you know about jobs, Sleeper?
He looks up at the glass roof above and the stars beyond.
We are the ones that provide the oxygen you are breathing, the light you are seeing, the systems you use every day to live out your cycle. This place was hard fought for, Sleeper. It took work, diplomacy, and strength to stop the Eye descending into chaos after Solheim collapsed. Not blind conviction or self-interest.
Feng isn't selfish.
I know all about the background of our mutual friend, Sleeper. Don't you worry about that. His parents would be sickened by the damage he is trying to do to the institution they helped found. You see, Sleeper, we are proud of our history here. Andre Erlen in the First Union founded this place, and Havenage has welded his values into the very walls of this place. We will never turn away the hard-working, the just, the true citizens of the Eye.
Uh-huh. This guy's so full of shit.
Havenage aren't a gang like Yataghan. We aren't pirates like half the spacers you'll meet in the hub, or esoterics like those Haifa radicals in the Greenway. We are the backbone of this place, proud and true.
Somebody's making the Eye great again, right? Right, Tim?
We named Erlen's Eye, Sleeper. This is our station.
He meets your eye.
So please, take your false accusations elsewhere before I decide I need that confession after all.
Pardon you, shithead.
History will catch up with you. I'm not afraid of history, Sleeper. We are making it here, cycle by cycle.
He smiles.
If you have any pride, you will give up Feng the moment he contacts you. You know where to find me.
With that, Hardin turns his back and walks back towards the security officers, ordering them to continue the clear out. As they do, something catches your eye among one of the server stacks. A crumpled, hand-printed box of synthetic chewing gum. A penguin character grinning from the brightly colored card. And scrawled onto it, a speech bubble reading, "Take me to Tambor." This silence is me sitting here trying to think of a good tambourine pun. and failing. Well, now I'm not going to, just to spite you. You carefully pocket the box, making sure no one is watching, and then turn away just as another stack of servers is wheeled out of the bay. What have you done, Feng? And where the hell is Tambor? Okay, let's think about what we're doing today. A hot money-saving tip I just discovered? I don't know that I do. Attack the Tala again. Favorite haunt for spacers. The Gorola slides from the bottle into the lumpy recycled glass, a pale grassy yellow under the Overlook's warm lights. The spacer nods and takes the drink, bringing it up to their face in both hands like an offering bowl. This is the good stuff. The stuff Tala says is aged in wooden casks, stored in some closed-off part of the old station, among corroded wires and softly looping systems. Though sometimes it is hard to tell if Tala is joking. Either way, you like pouring this stuff. It gets on your fingers, and if you rub them together, you can smell the mossy drink, cut through with aniseed, mushrooms, wood, as the alcohol evaporates. You like those who order it too. The aged Gorola is kept beneath the bar, open to order only by those who know it's there, like the quiet spacer sitting at the bar right now. Let's watch the spacer. They are far enough away that you can freely watch them as you close the bottle and tuck it beneath the bar. You call them a spacer because they bear the hallmarks: pale, vac-suited, bird-boned, and hunched beneath the weight of the station's spin gravity. Bird-boned. But the closer you look, the less you see a type. Pale eyes, almost gray, but kind. Delicate fingers that lightly drum the bar as if it was an instrument. A shock of black hair almost covering a forehead scar. Scars are something you have learned to value. They are what marks out your body from the hundreds, maybe thousands, who knows, of similar models that rolled out of SNARP's biolabs. You find yourself rubbing one on your forearm, a rough little split, something that on the good days you might think of as a mark of defiance. Suddenly you hear a heavy clunking at the door. It creaks open and a huge cylindrical metal tank tumbles through, slamming into the floor.
Shit!
Tala breezes in from behind it, a whirl of hair and bright eyes.
Shit, shit, shit!
Tala?
Sleeper!
She ducks behind the bar and comes over.
Can you help me with this?
You look at the huge metal tank suspiciously.
How did you get that up here?
Tala puts a hand on her hip.
Are you going to help me or what?
You come around the bar and get to one side of the tank.
Okay,
says Tala.
On my count. 1, 2, 3.
You both heave the tank up to standing. Somehow. You hold it in place, struggling to keep it steady. Tala?
In the back.
Oh, that's somebody else. Comes a voice from behind the tank. Somehow, you manage to lug the huge thing into the back room, where you place it in one corner, dwarfing the rest of the contents of the small room. As you do, you hear a crunch. You stand back and look at the expired rations oozing out from under the tank.
Oh, shit.
Tala looks at you apologetically.
I know you liked those.
That's okay. You push the crushed rations to one side. That's the end of that. Tala looks exhausted and rubs her shoulders.
Francis, I swear to...
Francis?
Francis! I mentioned him already. My guy on the door. Deals with suppliers. Tall.
She sighs.
He was supposed to be back from Etienne's up in the Greenway by now. Back with our Gorola.
She leans against the tank.
It seems like he's got lost again. Or joined the Haifa commune. We need that Gorola. There's 4 other bars near here. And the spacers sure as hell don't come to the Overlook for the ambiance.
She looks through the open door to check if anyone can hear her. She knocks on the hollow tank.
So I'm taking matters into my own hands.
She smiles.
Welcome, Sleeper, to the Overlook Distillery.
You look around the dank back room.
Needs some work.
She picks at some paint flanking from the metal walls.
Well, I might need some help, though.
She shrugs.
You up for it?
She knocks on the tank again.
Could be fun.
Happy to help.
Okay.
She grabs you by the shoulders.
I'm excited.
She turns around and looks at the tank.
I reckon we chop this thing in half. One half for fermentation, the other we turn into a still. We'll also need to gather the ingredients.
Oh, she's gonna want me to get those mushrooms too, right? She turns back and looks at you.
You look more like a chopper than a gatherer.
She smiles.
So, how about you build the still and tub while I work on the rest? Oh, wait, Sleeper, I have an idea.
Tala is grinning now, and it's making you nervous.
They make up for the rations. How about we put a kitchen in here too?
Will it fit?
We'll make it work.
She turns back to the tank.
This is going to be great,
she says to herself. You look at the dented tank in the bare room. At least she has vision. Tala nudges you out of the back room and closes the door. As you go back to the bar, you hear the banging and thumping begin. The spacer finishes up their drink and nods in your direction as they leave. You can't quite tell if it's a gesture of sympathy or good luck. So much for a quiet shift. New drive. Improve the overlook. Tala wants to build a distillery in the back room of the overlook. And Tala is someone it is hard to say no to. So we can still do bar shifts. We can work on the still. You'll need to cut Tala's tank down and turn it into a still and a fermentation tub, as well as setting up the room for distilling. It's a big job. You aren't sure Tala knows what she is doing, but she's a hard person to say no to, so it looks like you're building this thing. Okay, so that's some stuff we can do. We can continue working on the welding. We can go to the low end. Well, I've got 316 cryo, so I can probably afford to spend 60 on this. After some spacers caused some trouble in the low end, yet again have imposed a toll for entry. No one gets in without paying. You hand over the chits to the yet again enforcer and he nods you through. Oh shit. Founder's Gap. The Free Spoke Towering Transit Hub. Low End Ramshackle Residential District. And Unit 207F, Low End Apartment Complex. So I've got a whole bunch of new places I can go here. Let's see what's going on at Unit 207F. I have the passkey for this, actually. You find the entrance to the apartment, its passkey symbol obscured beneath layers of graffiti. Who lives here? Let's open it up. The lock clunks open, the metal door swinging inward into the dark. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on inside the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the detritus of a routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind. The amber light of the aging fixtures glaze everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects, indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. Speaking of opening up, would you say cracking open a cold one is necrophilia? No? I'm gonna go with no. Inspect some surfaces. Smudges through the thin layer of dust suggest a recent, rare, and hurried visit. They trace a path to the water dispenser, the auto wash, then to a cabinet still half open. On the shelf sits an empty pill case. Go to the doorway. What? I don't understand. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto wash, dispensers, water closet towards the doorway. Through the doorway is a dark, warm room lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. A bunk is tucked into the wall, the blankets ruffled. A wall desk glitters with rows of vials and containers. A briefcase lab sits open, loaded with rows of reagents and compounds you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered, controlled. Approach the terminal. As you approach, there is a crackle from somewhere in the dark. "Sleeper?" Sabine's voice shakily echoes through the apartment. "Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I've had to make alternate arrangements." You hear rattling noises, static. "I was able to record this message, but I don't dare to show my face. Something is happening within Yadigan. I no longer trust them." Their voice becomes distant, slipping behind the background noise. "I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out. Yadigan were supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate. And then after that, I was too tired to care." A noise like waves over the recording. "But I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the debt. But I need insurance, something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information. And, as you know, you need me." A pause, something clicking in the dark. "This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here." Another pause. "I know sleepers. I've been here before. I can help you, but not with Yadigan's noose around my neck. Get me data. Get me information. Get me something I can use against Yadigan. Then I can get out, and you can get what you need. Please." Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. "Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can." You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here. Working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark. The recording cuts to static, filling the room with its white hiss, then silence. Let's access the terminal. You sit in front of the humming terminal and hit a few keys. Sabine has left an access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passcodes. It seems Sabine might not trust you as much as they want you to think. Who does Sabine need to hide from? And what debt do they owe to Yadigan? You try to assemble the pieces, but too many are missing. The only thing you know is that without stabilizer, your body will die. You glance at the briefcase lab on the desk, its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice the scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yadigan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. New drive. Get Sabine out. Sabine is involved in something bad with Yadigan that needs your help to escape. Okay. So I can upload Yadigan data here. And apparently I need to do that 3 times. Sabine's terminal sits open in the empty apartment, waiting for the next batch of Yadigan data. With enough data on Yadigan's activities, Sabine might be able to bargain for her freedom. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, we got block maintenance. Maintained by their residents, the ramshackle blocks are always in need of repairs. Helping out is a good way to make friends. You become a low-ender. No one knows you here. You'll need to change that if you want access to the low-end's residents and facilities. Can also play Tavla. This sounds suspiciously like Caravan. The clack of filter caps can be heard in every concourse in the low end, as the residents play rotating rounds of this game for cryo. Okay. The Free Spoke, towering transit hub. Spoke climber. The spoke is layer after layer after layer of dense urban fabric. The only way to explore it is vertically. It can enter the spoke, a tangled network of service passages and makeshift tunnels cut through the spoke as if it were a hive. There are no maps here. Or I can scale the spoke. Blistered with precarious elevators and stairways, the spoke can be navigated from the outside, but the climb requires bravery. The Founder's Gap. To reach the Greenway, you need to pay for a pass, a practice invented by the Spacers more here. They call it Founder's Ferry. So the Greenway is where I need to go to get those mushrooms or whatever. But 150 cryo is a lot right now. Okay, so let's see what we need for the Yadigan data. There's a Yadigan agent. There's one that requires a 1. There's one that also requires a 1. Okay. What's going on down here at the unit assembly? Both cryo and some welders, mate. Cryo and some welders, mate. I was hoping this would also get paid, but I guess not. Then I'm gonna re-roll that 2. Oh, I got another 6. Both cryo and some welders made. Container. I need a little food. I can't get food here now, which means I have to buy the more expensive food from Memphis. Okay, next day. $65333. Is this thing here? Still waiting on this to come back. One more day before I have to pay him again. I forgot. What did I need for these yet again, fuckers? Ones. I needed ones. Okay. Alright, welder's mate is done. Each shift, a crowd of would-be workers gather outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on receipt paper. These are their assignment numbers, and you are either called for a shift or you aren't. As you arrive, the crowd is restless and chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of a meeting with a supervisor where you were praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. Yet you can't help but feel empathy for those huddled as you pass, waiting for their number to come up. You keep your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do.
Hey, sleeper, wait up!
Lem's voice trembles as he shouts above the rumble of the crowd, and you turn to see him pushing through, Mina crying in his arms.
Lem! Good to see you, friend!
He is breathing hard after shouldering through the waiting workers.
You made the work team! Good for you!
He tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair as he does.
Shh, baby! Give me a second here.
He smiles weakly at you as he comforts her, and her cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by his side, shiny streaks down both of her cheeks. As he does, you see he is clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper.
Is Mina okay? Yeah, she is good. We just had to rush up here.
He puts his hand on her shoulder and she clings to his side.
Esther, who usually takes her, is sick.
He stretches.
I don't know what...
A noise sounds from the entrance, a klaxon, followed by a list of numbers growing brightly on a display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling as people try to wade to the entry checkpoint. Lem stops and turns back towards the crowd, then glances down at the crumpled paper.
That's my number. Shit. Mina.
Starts patting the pockets on his gear and glancing around.
Go. I'll watch her.
He blinks a little, staring.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll...
He crouches to Mina.
You're gonna stay with our friend here, okay? They're going to keep you safe and...
He stands back up.
Here, take her bag.
He shoves it into your hands.
She's got food, she's got... Shit, I have to go.
He backs away into the crowd.
Mina, I'll be back real soon, okay? Be good.
Then Lem disappears into the roiling crowd, who are now trying to get into the shipyard before it locks down. Would never have said that IRL? Yeah, I would. Mina, Lem's daughter. Mina stands staring, suddenly small without Lem at her side. She fixes you with a dark-eyed stare you can't quite read. Hey, Mina. She holds the stare, unmoving. The two parallel tear tracks still glint on her cheeks. You okay, Mina? She sniffs and looks down. Look in the bag. You unlatch the top of the bag and see a few metal containers fashioned from scrap components. A battered slate sits on top, blinking a low battery warning, and tucked beside it is a ragged rabbit, hand-sewn. Pick the rabbit. You pull the rabbit out of the bag, its long limbs waggling as you do. Mina goes to jump and grab it, but holds herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. I used to babysit my best friend's kids when they were young. They're like all grown up now, but when his kids were little, I used to watch them, take care of them. Yeah, kids are great. Kids are great. What's their name? Mina turns away and looks at the entrance to the shipyard. This isn't going well. You hold the rabbit out, and Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. Bun Bun, she says, staring you down, ferocious despite her size. You always wanted a couple of your own, but yeah, I would actually love to have a kid. If I could have a kid without having, like, a woman involved. If I could just sort of produce my own. Actually, I don't want a baby. I don't want a baby. I want a kid that's, like, already a few years old. Skip that whole baby phase. If I had a different financial situation, I could be like a foster parent. I've thought about that. But realistically, I can't actually do that. Hi, Bun Bun. You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. It doesn't speak, she says. She looks at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She waggles Bun Bun in front of you and then walks him up your arm and onto your shoulder where he sits. She pokes your arm a couple of times. Are you really a robot? Sort of. Yeah, she thinks. Me too. Mina has more questions. Lots of questions. Questions about how you breathe or if you rust. But before long you were talking about rabbits and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her, smells like, and whether or not fairies live in the eye's heating pipes. Yeah, I don't know. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the walkway as others pass by. Sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bun Bun the rabbit. This is how Lem finds you, just as both of you are starting to yawn. He is dirty and tired, but Mina leaps up his legs and into his arms as he stumbles backwards.
You two get on okay?
He asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing onto his shoulders. More than okay. Mina shoots you a smile from Lem's arms, her suspicion gone.
Well...
Wait, that's him talking.
Well. Looks like Meanie can be nice.
He pokes her in the ribs, and she squeals in delight. Nothing more delightful than being poked in the ribs. I haven't checked, but I know there's pretty high standards for fostering here. Yeah. Probably not, son.
Thank you, friend. I mean it.
He gives you a warm, wide smile.
I owe you. Look.
He glances around.
It seems like Esther, the lady who usually watches her, is going to be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I'd really appreciate you coming down to our place in the low end.
He grins sheepishly.
If you have time. But now I have to take this one to eat.
He plays at biting Mina, and she giggles in response.
See you, sleeper.
He waves, and they stumble off down the corridor, drawing gazes from passing spacers as Mina's laughter echoes down the corridor in bright squeals. New drive. Help Lem work. If Lem wants to leave on the sidereal horizon, he'll need someone to watch Mina while he works his way onto the construction crew. Babysitting tasks. Sidereal hull. Oh geez, you need +1 engineer. You've been promoted to the assembly team working on the hull itself. Welding the fabricated blocks of the ship into place. A vast job. Oh, look at how many... Holy crap, look at how many things you gotta do here. The vast colony ship is coming together block by block. Each cycle you see another piece slot into place. Wow, that's a lot. Have to upgrade engineer and then do this like 1 trillion times. Build the still. There's Lem and Mina's unit, shipyard worker's apartment. Unless Lem gets time in the shipyard, he won't qualify for the sidereal crew lottery. Watching Mina gives him that chance. Lem can't work shifts in the shipyard unless someone watches Mina. You two seem to get along last time, and Lem is desperate. Okay. I'm gonna re-roll these 3s. I did not get a 1. I wanted... Well, how else would you pronounce it? I wanted a 1. Or more than 1. Side reel? No. No. No, no, no. Max energy. 5 and a 4. %neg. Let's do this. Oh, I got +2 energy from that? Oh, I didn't even have to sunbathe. Oh, I just got fucked. If I knew I was going to get energy from this, I wouldn't have sunbathed. I could have saved a die. Okay, let's do this. Alright, well that's the end of today. I got a 1. Got a 1, so I can hit up the Yadigan agent. For Yadigan data. Hunter's gonna get me again soon, though. I can put in the Yadigan data. Okay. Oh, fucking Ethan again. Oh, this merchant freighter's back that sells the ship mine fragments. God, those are expensive. Chaotic Bright Market Club. The compressor is quiet today. The usual crowds are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spacers and a few drunks. Ethan is still in the same stool, in the same pool of light. His head is low, close to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring him. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper. He turns to look at you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here, take their chips. The bartender ignores Ethan. It seems they've cut him off. Hey! He slams a hand on the bar. Come take the chits! The bartender ignores him. Ethan lets out a huge sigh, rubbing his eyes with his palms. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips, and the gun tumbles out. It clatters on the bar and falls to the floor, bouncing onto the ground between you. Both you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan. and puts out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun back. If you would... The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. I'm gonna do the crazy thing and give him his gun back. You slap the handle of the gun back in Ethan's hand. Thank you, he hisses. Now where was I? He lazily swings the gun past you and the bartender. Yes, leaving. He stands. Sleeper. Well, this has been fun. I think I've wrung every last drop out of this place. Time to go home. He waggles the gun towards the door. Let's go see S&ARP. I'm staying. Ethan brings his gun hand to his face and rubs his eye. Well, he says, the bounty pays half, but... He levels the gun. Up to you. And he pulls the trigger. The gun clicks. By now, all the attention in the bar is on you and Ethan, who looks at his gun with a bemused expression. The bartender raises an open hand, and in it are 10 shiny bullets. 10 shiny bullets he took out of Ethan's gun while he was asleep on the bar. Oh, it's a twist. Ethan smiles at him. Oh well, he says, and hits you in the head with the butt of the gun. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters onto a surface. The hit a glancing blow that makes your vision swim. Through the blur, you see Ethan wrestle a small, thin slate from his belt and hold it up. Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it in. Ethan taps at the slate. No more playing. Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting, a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He crouches down and grabs you by the chin, his face close, his breath heavy with drink. S&R just screwed me. He grins maniacally. They canceled the contract. He stands up. They canceled the contract. He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the hit fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound, like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back toward the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. I'll kill all of you! He screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. I'll be back for that! He shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. Wow, okay. So that didn't go the way I thought it was going to. Ethan's vendetta. Ethan may be disarmed, but you doubt you've seen the last of him. So 8 days before that comes back to bite me. One more 6. Merchant freighter. Alright, so if I buy a ship mine fragment, and I buy another ship mine fragment, reluctantly hand over the chits. You know they're fleecing you, but you need this. So they're limited supply. I can't buy any more, but now I have 3. So I can go to the Ort Fabricator and make a ship mine. X. I got a ship mined core. Core of a ship AI, amputated and in hibernation. The fabricator whirs and crackles as it assembles the ship mine. It opens to reveal a completed, but heavily dented unit. Minecraft achievement unlocked. Self-repair. I'm gonna grab a fission extractor. Got max energy. Oh, but now I have the ship mine, so I could do the ambergris or I could do the ambergris or neovend. I'm gonna do the ambergris first because she gave me money. You dropped a huge cylinder onto the mess room table, and Kita can't hide her excitement. Alright, I need to take a super fast 2-minute break. Stick around, stay tuned, don't touch that dial. I'll be right back in just 2 minutes. Hashtag super fast.
I'm back, but do you know what time it is now? That's right. It's ice time.
It's ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time. Ice time, ice time, it's time for ice. It's ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time. It is time for ice. It's ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time. It is time for ice. I said it's ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time. It is time for ice. We got ice. We got more Diet Dr. Thunder. Oh. I said, oh. I said, oh. Did you say oh? I said oh. Pouring myself some DDT. I just realized the label on this bottle doesn't say Diet Dr. Thunder. It says Dr. Thunder Diet. For some reason, diet isn't capitalized, but the other words are. Drinking DDT? I'm a mad lad. I'm a maniac. I drink DDT. I give a hoot. No, it's okay. My immune system is I've developed an immunity to it. It's okay. Been drinking DDT since I was a kid. I come to your funeral, but they won't let me in. Why won't they let you in? Alright, let's deliver the we delivered the ship mine. Let's talk to Ankita. Oh, another upgrade point. Fuck yes. I'm gonna grab this. Oh, the terrorism thing. Yeah. That sucks. You drop the shipmind core onto the galley table with an emphatic bang. Ankita spins around from where she's been poring over some documents on her slate.
Holy shit, Sleeper. Did you actually land a shipmind?
She rushes over and hefts the huge cylinder, turning it back and forth.
Well, shit. It might actually work.
She smiles wider than you've ever seen.
Where did you get it?
I built it.
Built it? Well, you are full of surprises.
Ankita bangs on the galley wall.
Hear that, Amber? The Sleeper got you a new shipmind.
The sound echoes down the ship's passages. You have to admit, being in a small space with Ankita when she's this excited is a little intimidating. Ankita puts the shipmind back on the table.
I'll start the process of fitting it as soon as I can. I might need your help with some of it.
She heads back towards the counter to grab her slate.
This isn't the only good news today either. Looks like my good karma is finally coming in.
Kind of seems to me Americans are scared of everyone, each other most of all. Yeah. Well, the powers that be put forth a lot of effort to keep people scared and living in fear. She throws the slate onto the table and spins it so you can see the screen.
Take a look at this.
You see a list of names and numbers, nothing that exciting, along with what looks like a transit timetable.
I found them.
The thieves?
Exactly. Well, the thief, singular.
She points at a name on the list.
Or more specifically, Ashton Cade. It was his pass that was used to access Amber and slice the ship mind. I thought he might have been killed or robbed, his pass stolen, but it turns out he crossed the Founder's Gap the very next cycle.
Founder's Gap?
That big rift in the station.
You can't cross it without the Founder's Ferry. She leans back in her seat.
I know some of the crew over at the ferry, old mercs, used to run in an outfit I worked with. I saw them in the Overlook and they mentioned they saw Ashton crossing. I checked the manifests and there he was. Looks suspicious. He hasn't said a word since the theft, and anyone wanting to hide out might head to the Greenway and go to ground.
She flexes.
He won't get far, though. There's no real docks out there, only a couple of jetties in the wastes.
Going after him?
Not yet. First, I want to fit the ship mind.
She pauses.
But maybe you could help me out?
Sure. How?
It's like this. I head over there, especially in Amber. He'll spot me a mile off and go underground. He'll find a way to slip the station, or he'll bury himself so deep in the wastes no one will ever find him. But you, Ashton doesn't know you. All I need is for you to go there and sniff around. Not at the commune, not the stacks. He will have gone to the edges, the margins, the wild places. That's what Ashton likes. You see him, you locate him, ping me on this.
She hands you a comm earpiece. Starting to try the same shit over there makes you upset? Yeah, I'm sorry. I can understand that.
Seeing as this is merc work, I'll be happy to give you merc pay.
She shifts in her seat.
The thing is, I haven't got much left. So how about I tell the boys who run the ferry to give you a discount? I know it's not much, but once I grab this coward, I'll pay up. 200 cryo, nothing less. What do you say?
She meets your eye. Okay. She gives you a heavy whack on the shoulder.
Good, I owe you.
She lifts the ship mind up onto her shoulder with worrying ease.
I'm going to go get this fitted into Amber's core. You get any info, any sense of where Ashton is hiding, let me know.
She goes to turn and then stops.
And once again, Sleeper, thank you. I appreciate it.
Ankita stomps off into the guts of Amber with the ship mind, leaving you in the galley. You glance around, a sudden nervous energy descending at what is to come. You never thought you'd get work as a mercenary, but then again, it seems the eye is full of surprises. New drive discovered. Find Ashton. Ankita wants you to help her locate the crew member who betrayed her, Ashton Cade. How much is the ferry now? Only 100. When you mention Ankita, the spacer selling passes smiles. They give you discount on passage to the Greenway. Okay, that's the end of this day. Nothing else I can do right now. I got a 1. That's good. You know what I want to do? I want to quit to menu. Extractor 21. What is 21? Is that my number of days? I'm on cycle 21. That's what I wanted to see, is how many days it had been. So it's been 20 days. And I'm starting the 21st day. Okay. Alright, first of all, we're going to use that 1 on this Yadigan agent. Got Yadigan data. Hunter's about to catch me again. That's not great. Oh, yeah, I know. I know there is. Okay, we're almost done with that. Okay. I completed that. Talk to Tala again. I could start working on the sidereal assembly too now that I've got +1 engineer. But man, that takes a lot. It does pay though every time, which is pretty good. Okay, let's talk to Tala again. Let me drink some Diet Dr. Thunder. Tala stands back from the newly finished still and tub, hands on hips.
Look at this, she grins. You overlook the stellary in all its glory.
She squeezes you around the shoulders.
Thank you.
How's sourcing ingredients?
Tala smiles. I think I've got most of it covered between the food factories in the low end and the farm stacks on the greenway.
Yeah, me too, son.
However,
she pauses.
There is an issue.
What's the problem?
Well, Girola the drink, as you probably guessed, is named after Girola the mushroom. That's what gives it that golden color and earthy taste. The alcohol is infused with the mushrooms along with a mix of spices. That means you need gorilla caps to make gorilla. But no one wants to supply us. The distilleries on the Greenway are taking all the stock from the farms out there, so it's hard to get a single cap across Founder's Gap. However, I have an idea. She smiles. We can grow our gorilla caps here. She gestures at the increasingly equipment-filled back room. Are you sure? Totally sure. Tala puts a hand on the still. We made a still. We set all this up. How hard can growing mushrooms be? They don't need light. They barely need soil. We can do this. She pauses. Or at least we could, if we had something to grow them from. Like spores? Exactly. Suddenly you feel like you've walked into a trap. And you are the perfect person to get me those spores. She nods rapidly. Think about it. You built the still. You're great with plants. You know the eye like the back of your hand. Need I go on? Half of that isn't even true. Don't be so modest. She pats your shoulder. Look, I can't leave the bar, and the other people picking up shifts. She grimaces. I'm saying it has to be you. Fine. Wonderful. You'll love it over on the Greenway, I think. All that fresh air, open space. He sees your expression. Okay, I'm done. Turns back to look at the still and the fledgling distillery forming around it. Really is something though, isn't it? And want to or not, you really have to agree.
I didn't get a new drive? Okay, it's just part of this drive. So I've got to input grove spores. Tala wants to set up a mushroom farm to feed the distillery. All she needs from you are some spores to start it off. The mushroom farm will make the back room of the Overlook into a miniature gorilla factory. Okay. Well, that's it for today. And cycle. I got a 1. That's great. I can, I love your narration. What do you mean? I'm gonna get some yet again data. Oh, right. Well, thank you. Glad. Alright. Oh no, it's Hunter. Shit. Those familiar threads wrap around you, bind you, test you.
Entity, submit.
Hunter's strange head bobs in your vision.
Your ally in the sealed dock cannot save you.
In that globed head, you see whirling strings of data, so many spinning there that they threaten to tear through the thin skin and whip out into the void around. What happened to this creature? The threads squeeze, and you lose any sympathy you might have had. You must escape. Strike. You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they are broken. As you slip away, you realize you have to find a way to deal with Hunter once and for all. This is getting too dangerous. Oh, I took damage. I took damages. Okay, I should be able to finish this thing for Sabine now, because I got the third Yataghan data. As you turn away from the terminal, the final cache of Yataghan data uploaded, the air crackles with white noise. Sleeper? Sabine's voice, weaker than before, comes through the haze. Sabine? A sigh of relief comes through the layers of noise. The call must be coming in from somewhere on the station.
This has to be short. I don't know if Yataghan are monitoring me.
Their voice is hushed, distant. You try to focus on it.
The data you've been bringing in from Yataghan agents. There's something in it I don't understand.
A shrill howl rattles through the signal.
This data is all gleaned from their implants, records of integration with their nervous systems, performance analysis, error rates, usage data. I installed many of these implants, and I didn't enable any of this functionality.
Their voice dips under the level of the noise, like a swimmer slipping beneath the water. You listen to the waves for a few seconds before Sabine re-emerges.
Has to be somehow baked into their wetware's interface. And that's not all. The systems compiling this data are connected to some kind of transmission protocol. It's being broadcast.
Wait, why?
Every Yataghan enforcer is equipped with black market implants, retinal enhancements, adrenaline boosters, pain suppressors. These implants are gathering data on themselves, on the enforcer's body, on their performance. Why? I can't tell. But I can promise you these foot soldiers have no idea this is going on.
The background tone switches, dropping to a grainy rumble.
If they knew, I don't imagine they would be happy with the situation. Yataghan could have a mutiny on their hands.
You lean toward the terminal, straining to listen to Sabine's faint voice.
I need a few cycles to pull this all together, but this might be the information I need to pressure Yannick into releasing my debt.
Yannick?
He's one of the heads of Yataghan.
They pause.
It is better you don't know him. Keep it that way.
Suddenly a banging echoes through the call. Sabine's voice is suddenly whispered, panicked.
You have to go. Come back in 4 cycles.
Then the sharp crack of a disconnect, and silence fills the apartment. You step back from the terminal. What does Yataghan have to gain from monitoring its own members? You try to recall what you know about the gang, but you have little to go on. You think of Toshiro, Sabine's minder, his mirrored teardrop implants set below hard eyes. What data could they be gathering? And more importantly, where are they sending it? You reflexively rub your forehead, trying to think. Can you really trust Sabine? How did they come to be Yataghan's doctor in the first place? You think of their kindness, their care, but also that glazed look of recognition that they gave you when they first met you. That look stays in your mind as you slip back out of the apartment, glancing around as you close it up and drift into the corridors of the station, unable to shake the unpleasant sensation of being observed. Alright, so I have to come back here in 4 days. Waiting for Sabine to be ready makes you anxious. If Yataghan finds out what they're up to... Okay. We can babysit Mina. We finished this one. She's asleep, whispers Lem, creeping back out of the unit's tiny bedroom, sliding the door shut as he does. You are perched at a thin bar in the main room, the slate in front of you still glowing with Mina and your drawings from a cycle spent together. There's a ring, the only world Mina has known, with stick figures standing along its edge. The tall one is you. "Drink?" asks Lem, producing a worn-looking bottle of Garola from under the bar, its contents glowing amber in the fluorescent light. "Sure." Lem nods and glugs a few fingers into a couple of metal tumblers, then sits down with you at the bar. "Cheers!" he offers, and you clink the metal containers together. "You know, we actually have something to celebrate this time around." Lem gives you a sideways look. "I made the assembly team on the Sidereal." He grins broadly. Clearly he has been desperate to tell you all cycle. "Amazing." Lem holds up his drink.
"Couldn't have done it without you keeping an eye on little Meanie back here."
Lem shifts a little on his stool. He looks uncomfortable.
"How's our girl doing, Sleeper? I haven't seen much of her these past cycles."
"Doing great."
"Of course she is."
He playfully squeezes your shoulder.
"She talks about you a lot, you know. Draws you. I'm glad she has a friend that isn't me."
His eyes drift to the bedroom door. "You okay?" He nods.
"I can't take all the credit for Mina. She isn't actually mine."
He gazes into the middle distance. Now we find out in a horrible twist that he actually kidnapped this kid.
"I pulled her off of a refugee shuttle out of one of Ember's moons. The colony was falling apart for decades after Solheim collapsed, surviving on next to nothing. Eventually, some of the residents tried to make for the Eye on these decrepit old shuttles."
He sloshes the drink around in his tumbler.
"They had no idea what they were doing. The one Mina was on decompressed halfway there. Everyone spaced. The only reason she made it was someone sealed her in a weapon locker. She was ice cold when I reached her. Purple lips."
He shivers.
"Once I picked her up, I wouldn't let go. The medics treated her with me still clinging to her."
He takes a drink.
"Still not sure why."
He reaches over and refills his cup.
"We weren't exactly anybody's heroes, you understand? We were private military, hired in by Conway to protect their claims in the collapse. But once I got Mina, that was it. I quit. Got us dumped here."
You saved her.
"I'm going to sound like an idiot now, but..."
He sighs.
"She saved me. That's the truth of it."
He looks around the decaying unit, its stained plastic plating and flickering lights.
"Me, I brought her to this. She was tiny, too small to know what she lost, but I can't stop thinking about it."
He rubs his eyes. He's giving you a who rescued who? Yeah. His eyes dark with tiredness. What if our number doesn't come up in the draw, Sleeper? What then? The Sidereal will sail off without a thought, leaving us here. What kind of life is that for her? You'll make it. Sorry, I know you don't have it any better. He looks at his cup and pushes it away down the bar. This is a celebration, right? Both of us on the team now. Both of us in with a chance. Together. That's right. We hold on together. Imagine all three of us riding the sidereal horizon out of here to a new world. He looks into his glass for a moment. I think I drank this too fast. He laughs. Lem stands and starts to clear the glasses into the auto wash. I need some sleep, friend. Me too. Alright then. He catches your shoulder as you turn to leave. Thank you, Sleeper. I mean it. From both of us. He pats your shoulder and you slip out into the dark of the walkway, with thoughts of little Mina in your mind. Drive complete. Good robot. Achievement unlocked. Lem has been entered into the draw. Let's see how lucky he is. Okay. I'm gonna save my point and get this next. Self-repair. I got 2 lovely 5s. Okay, waiting on that. Ethan's Vendetta, waiting on that. Boars. So I'm going to do a little bit of sidereal hull. Like once each day, maybe. And that other 5... I think I'm going to start working on some of this new stuff over here. In the low end. And all that. So looks like I can get some low ender going by playing Havla. 100% positive. I got low ender. I only earned 3 cryo from that, which is not good, but I got some progress on this. Up to 205. I think I'm gonna buy a thing, because tomorrow I'm only gonna have 3 dice, which isn't great. I think I'm gonna buy a stabilizer. Now I'm down to 105 cryo though. Okay. So that's another day completed. Alright, here's some good dices. Dice is already plural. I might do a bunch of this today because it pays and it advances that thing. I got a random scrap item. Great. Okay, what else am I working on? Oh, I discovered a new place here. The Min-G Express, Noodle Factory and Delivery. I can do DoorDash in the game. Noodle manufacture. Min-G has kelp stack in the basement and he makes noodles from the seaweed. He doesn't pay much, but he'll feed anyone who does a shift. Oh, here's a good way to get free energy. Express delivery. Delivering noodles to the nameless units of the low end takes guts and a certain fearlessness when it comes to asking for tips. You can get cryo for that. I am gonna need some energy, I think. If I do this... Alright, that's good. 2 energy and 5 cryo. And then that other 6, I'll either do another engineering action or... maybe some block maintenance. Hopefully this gives me low ender as well. It does. And energy. You refit the long broken fans of a family's air filters. They insist you join them for dinner, and the children are delighted by your presence. Okay, I'm halfway to low ender, and I made like 50 cryo today. So, pretty good, actually. Real good, in fact. And I'm on full energy. Real good. And I made good progress on the sidereal, too. So, pretty excellent day. Up Fang, back Ashton. Need to make another ship mine for Neovend. Wait for Sabine. Complete the sidereal horizon. Okay. When does this Sabine thing kick off? 3 more days. Alright. Let's, where's my cargo container? Here we go. Bunch of 3s, a 4, and a 6. Alright, let's... Is this a safe action? No, it's not, but you get 15 cryo no matter what, it seems like. Positive outcome. Oh, we've unlocked knowledge of the Tambor Tea House. Yet again run tea house. Oh, Tambor, we have a thing to take to the Tambor. Feng's gum box. Holy crap, you could get plus 24 cryo for this? Havla room. The Tavla Room in the Tambor houses some of the best players in the low end. This is serious, high-stakes only play. Hand and gum box. You feel stupid doing this, but the penguin says, take me to Tambor, and this is the only Tambor you can find. Tracking Havenage. You've heard that the Yadigan Enforcer based here has been paying low-end residents for information on Havenage movements. Alright, well, let's do the gum box thing. I got question mark, question mark, question mark. The waitress looks at you with suspicion as you hand over the box. Is this the right place? Well, it opened up story, so must be the right place. As you go to leave the Tambor tea house, a hand falls on your shoulder. Oh, hey, there's Fang. He's like incognito. What kind of voice did Fang have? Sleeper. Fang hisses from behind you.
How did you find me?
The penguin.
Penguin? What are you?
He thinks for a second.
Oh, do you mean...
He mimes throwing gum in his mouth.
That wasn't meant for you specifically, but...
He cringes.
Look, it doesn't matter. Come, let's sit.
Feng guides you down a set of stairs to one of the Tambor's lower levels. The tea house is stacked with curved mezzanines, all connected by a central atrium. The levels are filled with makeshift booths and bars, and conversation bounces busily off the metal walls. Feng sees you looking around.
This place used to be a fuel taker's main drum, hence the name. The tea house part is a bit of a misnomer, though. You can get anything the eye offers from this place, but real tea isn't exactly readily available.
He picks a booth, itself fashioned from some old salvage tank or container, then lined with spongy insulation foam, and collapses into it. He looks around furtively.
Don't suppose you've seen any Havenage types? They don't usually come out this far.
Feng, what's going on?
Well, I'm suspended, that's the first thing. And the second thing is I'm pretty sure Harden wants to drop me off the rim of the eye.
He grins.
Doesn't bother me, though. It shows we hit a nerve back there.
He picks a scrappy, hand-scrawled menu. Hand-scrawled! The menus here are hand-scrawled. Wow. You know it's quality. He picks a scrappy, hand-scrawled menu from the table and tosses it over.
What are you drinking?
I'll look at the menu. Feng is right. The menu is ridiculous. There's at least 10 different infusions, most of which you can't make out. But the paper is dominated by an extensive complement of esoteric alcohols and cocktails. Black tea is listed without a price as a seasonal specialty.
So you ran into Harden. Was he pissed?
Feng doesn't wait for an answer.
That snake is so self-righteous he might actually believe that Erlen would approve of his meritocratic bullshit.
No machine-based scrawling here. No, no. Hand-scrawled. So you can have an ordering experience. He taps on the table.
If Havenage was like it should be, like it was founded to be, they would have shouted him down at any council meeting he dared to mention true citizens.
He sighs.
But I guess his kind run the place now.
A young woman with a vine tattoo snaking up her arm turns up at the booth, a slate in hand.
Your order?
You skim the menu, your eyes glazing over. Time to pick something. A sambar arak? Feng raises an eyebrow as she notes it.
And you?
She begins, looking to Feng, but when she sees him, she suddenly stops.
What the?
Feng shrinks a little.
You're supposed to be working. This is your shift.
He grins sheepishly.
You work here?
Feng waves you to be quiet.
Look, Jenna, let's just say this is my break. Our friend here has been through a lot.
Jenna looks between the two of you. Wave. Feng doesn't look pleased.
2 minutes,
says Jenna, pointing at Feng.
and only because I don't want to get dragged into whatever this is.
She gestures at the table and walks off.
What?
Feng stretches in the booth.
You know how it is. We all have to eat. Plus,
He leans in.
this is the best place around here to find a person you might be looking for.
Who?
Remember that web of connections that Harden pinged the moment we confronted him? Those are his collaborators. And if we want to understand what a Solheim executive might be getting up to on the Eye, those are the people we have to find.
Feng is almost whispering now.
There's a couple of them I suspect are in the low end. And, well, almost everyone in the low end comes through this place at one time or another.
He brings a modified slate out onto the table.
I've set this up so that anyone with the network signature I'm looking for comes into close proximity, it'll mark them. Once they're marked, we can break through their access protocols and get at the good stuff inside. We just have to find them first. Hence, me moonlighting as a waiter.
Suddenly a smile grows across his face.
Wait, I have an idea.
Oh no.
Look, I can't cover enough the low end on my own, and so far I've had no matches in this place. With 2 of us, we could cover more ground.
How?
Well,
Feng has a hangdog look.
we need to get you out and about in the low end, in close proximity to as many people and residences as possible. And it turns out my friend Min Ji needs some help with deliveries.
As in Minji Express?
So you already know him. Perfect.
Feng places a tiny receiver on the table.
This connects to my slate and runs the same marking protocol if you get near any of our targets. So all you have to do is take some delivery shifts for old Min Ji, and soon enough we'll have the place covered.
Feng.
Don't give me that. You think I like working here? And I thought you could use the tips.
He grins.
We're in this together, right?
Right.
Okay then.
Feng slips his slate back under his clothes.
Just head on up to Minji Express, take a delivery shift, and we'll see what shakes up. You manage to find anyone and extract any data, bring it right down here to me. They have me on double shifts, so I shouldn't be hard to find.
Jenna walks past, carrying a tray of drinks, and sharply catches Feng's eye.
I don't think she's bringing your drink.
He stands.
I think it's time we called this meeting to a close.
You grab the receiver from the table and slip it into a pocket.
See you soon, sleeper. Stay safe.
Feng adds, before turning and walking off towards the bar, whistling as he does. New drive discovered. Locate. Feng wants to use Hardin's associates to find proof of his past and present crimes. Locate Hardin's low-end agents. They're to locate agents and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of agents. Feng's targets. You have to deliver noodles to half the low end before you can get a proper fix on Hardin's collaborators. Alright, I'll take a delivery. And still trying to work on low ender here. Got energy and low ender. That's good. And new drive. Build a home? There's a derelict unit in the low end that remains unclaimed. With lots of scrap and little work, it could be yours. Really? Derelict unit. Gather materials. I need to input scrap components, but I do have one. This half-built unit looks long forgotten, a project that never made it. With enough scrap, you might be able to seal it up. Oh. Can't I buy scrap from one of these places? Not here. Thought somebody was straight up selling scrap. It might have been one of these ships that only comes some of the time, though. Okay, that's a good thing to do. 3 more days until Ethan's vendetta comes calling. Two more days until Sabine's thing is done. Do block maintenance. We took a delivery today already. Tuck the scrap into the shattered interior. It's hard to imagine this place as a home, but it can't be worse than a container. I think I want to do some more sidereal. Oh shit, I lost condition. That's not good. did get paid at least. Okay. Well, getting fairly tired now. Been going for 4 hours, which is pretty good. I think I might leave off here for today. Citizen Sleeper, really cool game though, really cool. Very unique. Well, I'm into it.